What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Black, your internet, relationship, and breakup coach. Today's topic, 5 lies that your ex will tell you during a breakup and what they actually mean. Now, it's a Friday morning here in Houston, Texas. Wherever you are around the world, I hope that you're doing good and that you're having an amazing day. It's truly a blessing to be able to bring you this content to help you with your breakup journey. This video specifically is important because a lot of times during breakups, your ex tends to engage in what I call double speak, in that they say one thing, but they truthfully mean another. Okay, so I'm making this video for the people who are confused by your ex's words and their actions. So truthfully, I hope this is helpful for you. Stick around to the end so that you gain the clarity that you need. Lie number 1, I need space or I feel overwhelmed. Now, this statement in itself is not necessarily a lie, but the context is what makes it a lie, because a lot of times your ex will position this like it's the outside world, it's everything else going on and it's everyone else, and they just need to retreat and they need to go inward. They need space from everyone. But the truth is, if your ex was overwhelmed with life or overwhelmed with the circumstances of life or other people, their job, you should be their safe place. You should be the one place that they have safety. They have that level of trust and high security and intimacy. Okay, the real reason why an ex says this is that they need space from you. It's not necessarily everyone else. And this tends to happen if you have an anxious attachment style. So if you're extremely anxious and you constantly need validation, what's probably happening is that your ex is starting to feel like being with you will cause them to lose their freedom. Now, this is a tricky aspect of relationships because we want to find our person. We want someone that we can trust, someone that we can be with, we can share everything with. We can be our most vulnerable version, right? And there's a high level of security, like I said. But also, we want to feel like we still retain a sense of autonomy. Human beings love and desire freedom, right? If you look at a country like the United States, and I think most countries have similar constitutional values or close, right? It's the pursuit of liberty, right? And happiness, but freedom is a core essence of that message, right? We desire to be free. And if your ex is feeling like being with you is a prison sentence, right? There's not enough space from time to time that they can retreat away from you or from the relationship. They tend to want to push back to gain that freedom and independence. So the best solution is truthfully to give them the breakup and give them space. Lie number 2 is you deserve better. I cannot give you what you're asking for. I cannot give you what you deserve. You're perfect. See, when you're hearing all those things, of course they sound nice and you're like, hey, I don't deserve better. I deserve you. I want you. I choose you. Here's the thing that happens inside the human mind and inside the human psyche is that relationships are an exchange of value, okay? At a baseline level, we understand that we all go to a relationship to give. And basically, the value exchange has become totally one-sided and your ex can feel that. So if your ex is saying that you're perfect and I don't deserve you and you deserve better, it's because they can feel like you are so invested in the relationship and they're not. And after a while, it just feels like you're the only one showing up and they don't really care as much as they should. They don't really value the relationship. And also, it can start to feel overwhelming. It can feel like there's a lot of pressure for them to step up and go to your level and start to do more for you and start to show up more to the relationship. Okay, so this imbalance in the relationship is what essentially ends up pushing them away. So when they say those nice things, it's a lie because their desire or their attraction has been dropped because they don't feel like you're equal. Let's think about it. If you were equals, at least in their mind, then you wouldn't have to do so much for them. And also, if you were doing so much for them and they weren't matching what you were doing, an equal would be like, hey, this is not good enough for me. Or an equal would be like, hey, I have to walk away because you are not meeting my needs. So it's kind of interesting when you accept the bad treatment, or you accept someone that's not showing up for you like they should. What ends up happening is that they feel pressure, but also they lose attraction because they start to feel like, yeah, you're accepting this because you are not as attractive or you're not as special as I am. Reason number 3 is I don't want to date right now. I don't want a relationship. I don't want to date. So again, this is one of those things that when you hear that in the moment, it sounds logical. And you think that your ex is just going to go inwards. They're going to stay away from dating apps. They're going to just focus on themselves. And a lot of times this is not the case. What they actually mean is that they think or they feel like they will find someone better in the future. And again, this isn't something that people say with their words, but the fact that they're choosing to leave, trust me, subconsciously, they have evaluated you, they've evaluated the relationship, and they think that there's something better for them out there. As human beings, we seek connection, we seek relationships. We all want to find our person. Okay, for many years, we've all been, we've watched Disney channels, movies, and all of these things that phrase up the context of a relationship like a happy place. It's something that we all strive towards. If your ex is walking away from you and saying, oh, I don't want to date right now, the truth is they just don't want to date you. And even if they don't find someone today, sooner or later, they're going to be trying to find someone better. Now, in a lot of cases, right, this will be a mistake, but they have to learn it. They have to actually experience losing you, maybe going out to go see if the grass is greener, and they find out that it's not. And they had a catch or they had a prize all along, but you cannot cheat them of that experience. You have to let them go figure that out for themselves and suffer the consequences. Line number 4, I just need to work on myself. And this is a very common one, okay? They'll say, especially when you're trying to get deeper into the reasons and what happened and why they want to leave, they say, I need to work on myself. Now, the reason they're saying this is because it's something you can't really argue with, okay? Think about it like this. When your ex is breaking up with you, they have thought about it for some time. This isn't something they decided a week ago. It's probably not something they decided 2 or 3 weeks ago. But what they understand is that this conversation is going to be a difficult conversation. And so in preparing and in talking to you about the breakup, they are doing whatever they can to make the conversation go as smoothly as possible so that they can walk away unscathed with minimal damage, both emotionally and in some cases physically, to both themselves and to you. They want to make this as painless as possible. It's also kind of like a layoff, or when, at times people get fired. And a lot of times the employer will say all this nice things. Oh, it's not you, and you did great at your job. But the truth is they're just saying all those things so you can pack your stuff and walk out the building. I know this is harsh, but remember, this is just a moment in time. And a lot of times your ex's perspective will change if you allow them to go through that journey. And if you want to know what the journey is, the journey that your ex goes from a breakup to getting back together with you, I'm going to drop a link in the description. I made a video about this, the 5 stages your ex goes through, so definitely check that out. Number 5, the 5th lie your ex will tell you is that we'll see what happens in the future. Okay, now this is also similar to the last reason. Maybe you're putting up a fight and you're trying to tell them how good you are together, how much promise that you saw for the future and everything that you both had planned. And so they say this basically to get you to accept the breakup, to get you to allow them to walk out of that room as a single person. And again, breakups are difficult, not just for you, but also for the dumper, for the person saying the words, for the person breaking your heart. It's not an easy conversation to have. And also in a lot of cases, your ex is not an evil person. They still have feelings. They probably still care about you to some capacity. So this is hard. So again, a lot of people will say or couch the breakup with nice statements and sentiments just so you can accept it and the conversation can be over and they can go about their happy life and go into the relief stage and go party with their friends and go do all of these degenerate things. Okay, sometimes it's not that bad, but you get the point. Anyway, if you have any thoughts that you want to share about your breakup, maybe your ex said some of those things to you, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section. Let's share our stories. Or maybe your ex said something else that's unique that you've never heard before. Drop it down in the comment section below. And if it gets a lot of likes, I'll definitely look at it and let you know what my thoughts are. If a lot of people like a comment or a statement from your ex, I'll definitely check it out and I'll definitely respond. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, the quickest way to do so is to click the link in description. It's going to be the second link in description. Also, I'm going to pin it in the comment section. If you need to talk about your situation, go ahead and click that link and we can chat. If you haven't already, like this video right now, okay? It costs you nothing, but it really, really does help the channel out and it gets this content out to other people who need it. So I appreciate you for doing so. Also, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future videos that I put out here and hit the bell. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.